Hi, I'm Andy Costello, your professional real estate broker. I'm here with Dave Blanchard, owner of Cognesis Marketing. He's our speaker next week for our Embrace, Empower, and Engage series. And Dave, tell us a little bit about what you're going to be presenting next week.
Yeah, thanks, Andy. So I am going to be talking about how we can achieve predictable revenue in a small business. So I spent the first 26 years of my career working in corporate America. And then I spent the last 10 or 12 years working with small businesses. And one of the things I've noticed is that there's some things that are common among the two. And then there's some unique challenges that small businesses have. You know, they don't have all the resources or the specialists and budgets and things like that. But there are some principles that big businesses have adopted and some practices that small businesses really need to adopt in order to get big. And they do adopt it as they grow. And because if you think about a large publicly traded business and how they treat revenue, they have to report their revenue to Wall Street every quarter. And they give a lot of guidance to Wall Street analysts. And if they miss that guidance, if they miss that projection, it affects their stock price. So Wall Street loves certainty and predictability. And we as investors in our own business, as business owners, we're the primary investor many times, the only investor. We love that predictability too. And there are certain disciplines or principles that if you apply them, will get you to that level of predictability. So that's what I'm going to be talking about.
That's great. Every business, small or large, loves predictable revenue. What's one takeaway that you're hoping our audience will gather from your presentation next week?
Well, I hope that they're able to take away a step that they can take towards that predictable revenue. I'm going to be covering 5 principles or 5 disciplines that are required to get to predictable revenue. And towards the end, I'm going to be giving people an opportunity to do a little assessment of their own business and where they're at, and identify, 1 or maybe 2 things that they can do to begin moving in that direction. And it's really about, this isn't a journey that's going to be done in a single step or done tomorrow, but it's really about getting started and moving in the right direction. And so my hope is that people will see, here's something I can do that will move me, and sometimes quickly. In fact, I'll be talking about some examples of how people have moved very, very quickly to get huge increases in revenue in their business by focusing on some things that opportunities they may have been missing. And so my hope is that people will take away an action that they can take to get more towards that predictable revenue that they want to get.
That's great. If people want to reach out to you before your presentation next week, what's the best way for them to find you?
Yeah, so the best way for me is email. And my email address is dave@cognesismarketing.com. That's COGNESIS marketing.com. I also have a website where you can learn more about me, and that's cognesismarketing.com. Or I'm also on LinkedIn, and I have a profile there that tells a little bit more about my background.
That's great. Thank you so much, Dave. For those that maybe are tuning in that haven't joined our series, you will find a link with the notes of this video pointing you where to register. We hope you'll join us for our weekly series with Dave next week. And if you can't make it, we do record the series, and you will be able to find it in our Facebook page. So thank you so much for your time and sharing what you're going to be talking about next week, Dave.
Thank you, Andy.
All right. Take care, everybody.
Bye.